It's like, oh, well, fantastic, you know. It's almost to the point now, I gotta wait for other people's success in this sport for me to get a fight, but that's the way it is. You know, that's something that obviously that'll be fun to do. And I think the UFC probably doesn't want that to happen because it kind of hurts their marketability, I would assume. If I go up there, then let's say I get whooped, and everybody's like, well, he just lost his last fight at 135, but he's a 125-pound champion. So I think for them, they don't want to touch on that that subject yet. Obviously, you know, everybody's been talking about the super fights and all that stuff, and I had a dream the other day. I was sleeping, I woke up, and you know, there's been a couple fighters that inspire me. He goes, I don't care about the belt, I just care about the money. And I was like, you know what, I'll fight TJ Dillashaw. $2 million. That's what I want, Dana. They have it or not. So obviously, you know, like John Jones said, he would go up and fight Cain Velasquez. As long as the purse is right, you know, I see nothing wrong with that. You know, it's not the itching. It's just, you know, when I fought my last fight in September, and it's looking like I'm gonna be fighting to May. You know, you gotta remember when I first became champion, I was fighting 3 times a year, and my body was, and I had surgery that year as well. So, you know, I was very active and I loved it. And now, you know, last year I fought twice, and now it's, you know, I don't want to slow down. I'm young, I'm able to recuperate fast. You know, at this time, you know, you think about Anderson Silva, he fights once a year when he was champion. Granted, he made enough money where he can fight once a year and he can take the rest of the year off, you know. I'm not to that point yet. Obviously, I can't do that, but I want to keep very active because I'm only young, I'm only going to get older, and eventually I'm not going to recover as fast, so. This is very new division. I mean, just like the women's strawweight and the bantamweight division. And you know, you have one big star in the bantamweight. You have many stars in the bantamweight division of the women's. But the biggest one, the shiniest one, is Ronda Rousey, obviously. And people gravitate probably to that because they love watching women fight. And I think for the flyweight division, even the bantamweight and the featherweight, you know, we're slowly coming along. And I think because people, you know, this man right here is bigger than me, and you know, he's probably the average male size of America. You know, me not so much. In Japan, Asia, they're like, boy, you're tall, and I'm like, why, thank you, I appreciate that. So it's a little different. I think, you know, a guy on the couch can sit there and be like, dude, I'll be like 185. I'll just sit on this dude. So I think that's a little correlation to what maybe they're not catching on as much. Yeah, I think he's a great fighter, and I think him climbing a ladder is the right thing to do. I mean, you see a lot of guys, they're all just focused on the belt, you know, and I think he's doing a smart thing, is fighting, you know, I beat, you know, Louis Gridnight, who came off a year layoff for drug suspension, so, you know, Louis Gridnight had to get off that ring rest, and, you know, he kind of, you know, out-wrestled him, you know, did not really strike him or anything. And I think Horiguchi, you know, because at the top 5, you know, we're all beasts up there, you know, with Dotson, Joseph Benavidez, and I think he's probably looking to the long term. Like if he was to dismantle me, you know, Joseph would come up right behind me and take it from him, or either Dotson. So for me, I've shown that I'm able to be a champion and be a great champion where I can beat the top 5s. You know, I just didn't get here and get the belt and then lose it. I'm hanging on to this bad boy. I told somebody today, they're like, don't let him go back to 135, and they're like, well, there's no point. He would never make the weight to fight John. I was like, I don't give a damn. I was like, if we were to fight and we'll weigh in, and if he missed it, I'm like, okay, it's still fine. We'll still fight. We're gonna fight 5 rounds still. And you won't get the belt if you win, and I'll take 20% and we'll still fight. So for me, I hate this side where it's like, oh, we gotta market people against you, unless it's like, in wrestling in high school, it was a tournament bracket. Whether this person was very popular or not, you still got to wrestle them. Whether they're ranked seed number 9 or you're number 1, you still got to wrestle them. So in mixed martial arts, in a business, in a organization towards a show, you know, I feel that I won't be able to test myself against what John Lineker can offer. Because a lot of people out there is like, man, John Lineker, he's, you know, there's people out there, he's the best fighter in the flyweight division, he has power, he can knock you out. And I was like, shoot, I'll test myself against him. I mean, why not?